You want to know what the 5 stages of divorce are? By the end of this video, you're going to know what the 5 stages are that you go through when you are going through a divorce so that you'll know the signs yourself. Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung. I am an attorney. I'm also a narcissist negotiation expert, and I've helped thousands of people break free from the drama, trauma, and chaos that people deal with when they deal with narcissists. And I want to help you too. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. I have written 2 best-selling books, Breaking Free, a step-by-step divorce guide, and Negotiate Like You Matter. I have also helped many people through my divorce practice. And when I wrote the book, Breaking Free, I actually took people through the emotional steps that people go through. And the reason why I did that, it was in emotional freedom, spiritual freedom, and physical freedom. And the reason why I took people through all of those steps is because when you are divorcing, it's not just the physical freedom that you go through, which is the actual divorce part, the procedural part, which I do take people through in that book, because obviously that's the part of the book that people want to see as an attorney. That's the part that most of the people see an attorney for. But you're not just going through that physical part of the divorce at that time. You're also dealing with the emotional aspects. You're also dealing with the spiritual aspect at the same time. And I often say that the divorce paradox is that during the worst, most horrible time of your life, you are having to make the most critical decisions of your life. I mean, they often say, when you look at many of those surveys of like the worst things that you can possibly go through, like death and divorce are right at the top of the list. And yet, during that time, you have to make the most critical decisions of your life about the most important things to you, about your money, about your children, about your business. And you have to be so clear-headed. And yet, how are you supposed to do that during the most horrible time of your life? It's crazy. So I wanted to actually take you through those 5 stages, the Elizabeth Kubler-Ross stages of grief, and how they actually play out during a divorce, especially during a divorce with a narcissist, during the 5 stages of a divorce with a narcissist in particular. Okay, so what do the 5 stages of a divorce with a narcissist look like? Number 1 is denial. So when you are dealing with a divorce from a narcissist, you are dealing with denial. First of all, you deal with the fear, that fear of what's going to happen, that catastrophe of what's going to happen. Because when you are dealing with a divorce from a narcissist, you know what's coming. You know that down the pike, they're going to turn against you. You know you're going to become public enemy number 1. You know that potentially going to expose you and try to turn the world against you and all of those things, right? And so you know that potentially emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of those things, it's going to be pure hell. And what's going to happen to you, what's going to happen to your children, what's going to happen to you financially. And you're imagining all the worst possible things. And so maybe you are in denial at the beginning about all of it, because you just don't even want to think about it. So you kind of deny that this is where your relationship is. you think maybe it's not so bad, or maybe I can live with this, or maybe it's not so bad all the time, or maybe this person can change. So you're kind of in denial about the relationship being as bad as you think that it is, right? So that's probably the first stage of divorce. And then the second stage is that anger, where you think, why are you like this? And why do you have to be so horrible? And why couldn't you just change? And why did you have to mess things up? Why did you have to cheat? And could you have stripped so much of my life away? And why did I waste my life on you? And you're just so angry at this person for maybe messing up your children's lives, just everything. Maybe you're resentful about the fact that they didn't make more money, or that they wasted money on things at this stage where you just maybe feel entitled. Maybe you just feel like they need to pay for everything that they've done to you. And I'm telling you, a lot of people, they get stuck in this stage for a very long time. A lot of people never get out of this stage. I think a lot of times people feel like if they forgive, or if they move on, or if they get out of this stage, like somehow the narcissist got away with it in some way. Like if they let it go, then they got away with it somehow. And that's just not the case. I mean, you need to move on for you. This is not about them. This is about you not living with the venom, not living with the poison, not living with that toxicity within you. That's number two. This is that anger stage that people live in for a very long time. And let me tell you, there's a big difference between wanting what's equitable and what's allowed under the law, and wanting to apply the law and being fine with that, allowing that to happen, and not allowing guilt to be part of that, not allowing being afraid to be part of that, not allowing emotion to be part of that, just allowing the law to be applied without anything else to be part of that. Okay, so that's the second part. That's anger. The next one is bargaining. And bargaining is where you might go back into, well, this is where it can be sort of dangerous, because this is where your narcissist, especially when you're divorcing a narcissist, your narcissist might start getting nice again. They might start hoovering. And so you might start getting weak again too. You might start going, well, maybe this might work out, or maybe it's not going to be so bad, or maybe we might be able to be friends, or maybe we might be able to somehow, some way, either get back together, or maybe we can be amicable, or maybe I can get them to see my value, or maybe if I just give in on certain points, they'll start to give in for me. And this is a trap I see people often fall into, especially in negotiating with narcissists. Sometimes people think, well, if I give a lot on the front end, they'll see how great I'm being, and they'll also give in. That definitely is never the case, by the way, ever. They just take, and then it just goes into the ether, and they'll be like, yeah, and your point is what? That never helps you in any way, by the way. And they don't acknowledge you. They don't see your value. I mean, that doesn't help you. And so that you go through this bargaining stage, and a lot of times that whole honeymoon phase is often met with rejection. You try to get them to see your side or whatever, and it doesn't work out. And then it ends up feeling worse, and you end up feeling even worse than you did before. It's almost like you've been rejected again. And so it ends up where you feel even more lonely or more sad or something like that. The one thing I do want to say is I have a couple of videos One is on self-care when you're coping with the narcissist. I would definitely check that out. The other one is I have a video on self-care when coping with a narcissist. That's an interview that I did with Amy Newmark, who's the president of the Chicken Soup for the Soul entities. And she had done a book on it, on self-care. And I would definitely highly recommend that interview as well. Great, great stuff. Check out both of those videos on taking care of yourself and making sure that you are doing what you need to take care of yourself. And I want you to put that in the comments right now, that I take care of myself. Put that in the comments right now. I take care of myself. Just to remind yourself that you do that, and you will do that throughout this process, because it is so hard sometimes to remember to do that, especially during this difficult time. So after you've gone through denial, anger, and bargaining, now you go into depression. And this is one of the hardest ones, because you've gone through denial, anger, and bargaining. In some ways, they're like easier, even though they're difficult to go through. They're easier than the depression, because the depression is the lowest point, honestly. This is where the divorce is probably over and you just are feeling lonely, you're feeling sad, you're probably beating yourself up. There's a lot of the Monday morning quarterbacking of, did I waste my life? Did the person ever love me? Did I give up too much in the divorce? I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have signed that. Maybe I had a terrible lawyer. That other person had a better lawyer than I did. I spent too much money on the divorce. I gave up too much time sharing. There's always this whole thing about, I should have left 10 years earlier. I never should have married the person. There's all this regret and stuff going on. Don't go down that rabbit hole. You cannot do anything about the past. It's not going to give you any sense of satisfaction. It's not going to go anywhere but down. That level of vibration is horrible for you. And don't even go being around people who are going to serve that kind of conversation, because it's not going to help you. If they're saying, oh, I saw your ex and they're with this other person and they're off having this great life, that's not going to help you either. What's going to help you is you starting to create your new life, starting to create new memories and all that sort of thing. Because that first year, where it's a year of firsts, where it's different, it's the first holiday where it's something different each time, or you used to always do Sunday brunches and now you don't anymore, or whatever. And you're just having to create your own maybe new set of friends or whatever. It's difficult. And so starting to create your own new life, your own new future, where you feel whole and complete on your own, is going to be absolutely critical. Developing your own set of interests, your own set of friends, join a book club or join a runner's club, or start something where you have you're cultivating your own life, where you start to feel whole and complete. Join a meditation group or something like that, where you start to do things for your own peace of mind, where you start to feel whole and complete on your own. That will do wonders for you. Really making sure that you have your own support system in place is going to be absolutely critical. And then the next level, that's going to lead into the acceptance. You'll know you're into that acceptance phase when you can see your ex and not feel any emotion about it other than, oh, there's my ex. Hello, goodbye, whatever. I don't feel anything around you other than there's my ex. And you've now pursued your own life. You now have your own life. and your ex has his or her own new life, and everybody has gone their own ways, and it's all fine, well, and good. And you need to create that space for yourself. Those are the 5 stages of divorce with a narcissist. And that's the most important thing. When you can get through that, when you can get to that level of acceptance, that is where you know that you have moved on, that you've gone all the way through, that you have moved through all 5 stages, and you have become who you really are supposed to be. You know, your soul knows that you were born for more. Your soul knows that you were meant for more. By the way, if you are struggling and need help, please do get the help that you deserve. I am very, very proud to be a partner and sponsored by BetterHelp. Check out their online therapy resources at their website, which is www.betterhelp.com/Rebecca Zung. While we do receive commissions on referrals to BetterHelp, it does not affect your cost to them. And we only recommend services that we trust. I have proudly partnered with them because we do get so many inquiries from people who are struggling, and I want you to have the support that you need. So please do get the help and support that you need through BetterHelp. Okay, so those are the 5 stages of divorce that people go through, especially with a narcissist. That is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then finally acceptance. And I want to see all of you get to that acceptance level. If you are struggling, please also feel free to join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. We have lots and lots of people in there who are supporting each other every single day, who are rallying for each other and supporting each other. If you do feel like you are potentially in a relationship with a narcissist, but you're not sure, I have a free quiz, which we will drop a link to in the description here. I also have a free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet for those people who are getting ready to negotiate with a narcissist, which you can grab at winmynegotiation.com. Make sure you grab that as well. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. Subscribe to this channel, because we upload brand new videos every single day. I am so happy that you're here. And remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. And remember, they only win if you give in. Okay, so I will see all of you guys in the next video.